Welcome back, Screamers, to another episode of Scream Kings. Hey, hey, I am
Hey,
Tamon Kane here with King Mark. How you doing?
I'm here. I'm good. I'm here. You know how I am. Just making it through
Absolutely.
the day.
Just making it to the day, right? And we are here tonight to talk about one of the most critically acclaimed, I think, horror movies in quite a long time, allegedly, right? Abigail. But before we get into that, of course, we have a drinking game. So if you're hanging out with us, make sure that you have your cocktail. And tonight's word is blood, which means every time you hear the word blood, you take a sip with us. All right. So before we get started, like, share, subscribe, turn on that notifications as we begin to talk about Abigail. But Mark, what are you screaming about right now in horror?
I'm glad you said in horror because if you had said what are you screaming about, I'd have been like life because life is whipping my ass. But what I'm screaming about in horror is several things. But I'm just going to cherry pick today and go with Late Night with the Devil, which I just saw last night.
Mhm.
I've been wanting to see the movie for a long time. Missed out on the theatrical run they had here in Tennessee, and yeah, so I finally got a chance to see that. I'm excited about. I'm excited. I got to see it. I cannot wait to talk about it with somebody. I'm a huge
I'm
fan of
excited.
David Dash. I cannot pronounce the man's name. David Dash.
Don't ask me.
Y'all know I call him. I call him Daddy. I call him Daddy because I love him.
We'll take
So
it. We'll take it.
yeah. So I really enjoyed that, and there's a tons of horror books I've picked up recently that I was sit there and
Ooh.
send over to you. So yeah. What are you screaming about?
Hey, late night in the Delaware, absolutely. So, Mark, I saw it a couple of days too, and I was like, it got mixed reviews, and people were saying that, oh, we don't like the ending, it's confusing, or it was lackluster. I can get how people can say that, but it was just such a work of art. Like, it was just so good. It was contained horror. It was just great from start to finish, for me at
Yeah.
least.
No, yeah, I agree. And see, the thing is, I feel like something like that. The reason why it resonated with so many people that we know is because it was something fresh. Even though it was a spin on the found footage. I know a lot of people talking about they didn't get the found footage element of it. And I personally I didn't either. I just felt like this was just a tape that was discovered, even found
But that's
footage.
found footage, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't know. We just
Maybe
I can't
because the
help but like
plot
it.
of the maybe because the plot of the movie didn't surround like the actual tape, more so like the full contents of the tape. So maybe
Mhm.
if it had another 30 minutes to say, hey, we found this tape, let's go investigate this movie theater, or let's go interview him in jail. If it had some other type of context to sort of support it, maybe then it would have felt like
But like I said,
uh,
yeah, I agree, Christy AJ. It's not per se. However, I feel like this is one of those moments because I always say here on the podcast and elsewhere that sometimes when a horror movie doesn't give you every minute detail of
mhm.
why stuff is going on, to me personally, that enhances the fear, that
Yeah.
enhances the scare factor. Because if you have everything answered for you, then it's just like, okay, so we know why this took place. That don't mean that you can. That don't mean if you get an explanation for everything that you cannot be scared. But I'm just saying, like when you leave certain things up to the audience's interpretation,
Yeah.
then it to me makes it a better film.
I agree. And I think it's so cool that this movie was just a snapshot of a bigger story. What's going on with this demon and the girl? It has a very small to do with what the bigger story. Whether we get that story or not, you know that by the point that we enter the story, there was so much before, and there's going to be so much after. So they did a great job with the mystery. Let's see, Mike Unofficial. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out, Mike. I mean, they stated that it was an unaired footage, so I watched it with the eyes of watching a found footage. I'm just saying, but that's just me. Okay, that's fair. I agree. I mean, technically, I
Yeah,
think it is classified as a found footage, but I guess that feel like Blair Witch felt like a found footage throughout because we were in that lens of a camera the entire time. Versus this one was sort of escaped that from the very beginning, which grateful. I'm glad they did that.
yeah, and like I said, we can go on and on about this movie because like the interstitial cuts between the segments, when you kind of get your story within the black and white, scenes of them
Mm-hmm.
talking to each other, and you kind of picking up on stuff. And I'm like, okay, so was that recorded? Was somebody walking around the set recording that or something like that? But I want to give a shout out to Mike, by the way, because he just launched his podcast, and if
Come
I'm not
on,
mistaken, I think it's called I know it's something dealing with found footage. I'm so sorry, Mike, that I can't recall the name of it right now. But I know he's the found footage guru, and it's always good to have somebody like that on hand because I have a thing with found footage. Like, I love it when it's done well. Um, and I feel like this was another avenue in that genre, and that subgenre rather, that was explored because everything's about, oh, we found these missing tapes,
hmm
or we found this missing footage, and it was just like, okay, so this happened on November. Oh no, Jesus Christ! This happened on October 31st, 1977, and there you go. Fear the footage.
we
And
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
no, go ahead. You said go ahead. Go sometime.
I was just going to say in season 2 of Scream Kings, we did a entire
Yeah,
episode for found footage.
sure
It feels
did.
like we have to revisit that and invite Mike on the show to come hang out with us and tell us
Yes,
about his platform and come have a drink with the Kings.
by all means, please, Mike, accept the invitation. Be one of us.
Join the coven.
Join the coven.
Okay, so what am I screaming about? I have a few
Yes.
things too. I am screaming about a movie that I saw a couple of days ago as well. I had a great weekend of horror movies. I saw Baghead thanks to Christy and AJ's recommendation.
Oh,
Uh,
was
for
it
the first,
good?
you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I almost pushed play on it last night, but I thought I get
Go
a
watch
chance
it.
to
Go watch
sleep.
it.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this now. Like, it's not a new concept. It's basically. I'll tell you that offline. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to run it, but it's a concept that you've seen before, but it's told in a different lens where it's okay. And I think that the performances were good. I they give you so much in advance of the story and so much context of what's going on, and the pacing is the same throughout. That is really exciting to watch. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
See, I keep telling people, Shudder be whipping our asses with these damn
Mhm.
original
Mhm.
movies. Because the thing about it is, I know somebody was like, I wish I could watch this movie. And I'm like, I don't want to be mean. This is just me. This is not me talking for Scream Kings. This is me talking as Marco Estes, aka Boo Boo the Ghoul. If you call yourself a horror fan and you do not have Shudder, we need to talk. We need to talk.
Yeah.
If you have any streaming service outside of, let me see, we got Shudder, we have Screenbox, we have where if you do the Shout Factory app and then you go to the 24-hour Screen Factory channel, that's free. And you will always find something on one of those three channels that's gonna get you together.
Thanks. And
And
AMC
then
bought Shutter, right?
yeah, AMC is that's part of Shudder. Yeah, yeah.
So their whole brand is horror, y'all. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, and if y'all, if y'all want to turn around, and this is not a we're not trying to get Shudder. We would love Shudder to sponsor us, but I'm
Would
just
love
saying.
that.
But it's just the fact that yeah, if you're a horror fan, I feel like it's just $5 a month, $6, something like that, to get all that good ass content, and sometimes they throw some. They have a lot of originals on there. Then they'll turn around and have, hey Mike,
King
uh,
Michael,
uh,
the God of
then they'll
War.
turn the god of chaos, but
Oh yeah,
and
chaos. Yeah,
shade and shade.
and shame.
But if you have Shutter, you should be good to go. I mean, like I said, if it's not for the originals, then for some of the classic stuff, I found so much stuff on Shutter that I've been trying to look for. And once Sam Zimmerman is like the content person on Shutter. Once he gets a hold of something, put it on Shutter, he don't be playing. He can make sure he has the right version. It's fully uncut, unedited, and all that stuff. So I can just gush on Shutter all day long. And shout out to Ivan Trees Littles who did I think 3 years worth of Shutter Airy, where she went and like reviewed each
Oh
Shutter
yeah,
original up to that point. So it's just Shutter always has something for folks. Get
no,
into it.
yeah. It's good. And I saw what AJ and Christy said about are we gonna pay they $5? Um, about that. If you subscribe to our Patreon for $5, we'll also pay for your Shutter. I'm screaming about Trap with Josh Hartnett.
Yes, God.
It's so good to see him back. I haven't seen him in real good horror since Penny Dreadful. So, and that was on Showtime for those who watched that. Yes, we have one. So it was great to see him in a movie. And I love the I guess the twist that they already revealed to us. So I know it's gonna be more.
Oh my God. Came on. When that twist hit that damn trailer, I was like,
yeah, he's a murderer and he looks like one.
But so. It didn't look like it before they did that reveal, because at first I thought that was like, okay, when the dude was explaining that this is a whole ass trap. If you have not seen the trailer, please go see the trailer. When the dude displayed this is a trap to capture this butcher, I'm thinking like bodies gonna be dropping throughout the entire concert.
Oh, it is.
But I'm just saying though, but he said to open up their app, I was like, wait,
what? I said the same thing too. I said I think it's probably the daughter that he's protecting, like that movie with Bruce Willis and Danielle Panabaker, Mr.
Yes.
Brooks, Mr. Brooks.
Yes. AJ and Christy, look, y'all. I said the same thing because with M. Night Shyamalan, the what's the word I'm looking for? The glare wore off when the Village came out. Okay, Tamer, I don't know if you. Oh, I'm sorry. Mike said it's M. Night. You know there's going to be 30 twists. It's probably going to be a killer chair.
Exactly. Hopefully this is not a miss for him because y'all know how he does. That's all I gotta say.
Exactly. The glare wore off for me when my sister and I got a copy of The Village. And when I say a copy, we got a copy of I was still in theater and leave it at that. So this is when it first came out. And we were sitting on the couch, and I looked at my sister and said, wouldn't it be fucked up if, like, they are in, like, modern times and they don't know it? And I so happened to fall asleep during the movie. And my sister woke me up, shaking me. Wait, spoiler alert for those who have not seen The Village.
It's fine. It's been 1,000 years.
My sister shook me. Boo boo. That's my, my nickname. She's like, boo boo. I'm like, what? You were right. Did you see it already? I'm like, no. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh.
I didn't like that movie either. So there's that.
You didn't like it?
No, it wasn't for me.
I think the last one I liked the. Wait.
I thought there was something else. I mean, there's so many things. Horror. Let me say, horror is having so much fun in the summer already. It is. Pretty Little Liars. Season 2 starts May 9th. And on the 8th, which is a Wednesday, Scream Kings will be doing a season 1 review. And starting that Sunday, we'll start doing an episode review of season 2. So come out and hang out and talk Pretty Little Liars. We may invite some of you on the show. So make sure you just put that on your calendars, please. Mm-hmm. Let's see, what are the comments talking about? Back up off my boy M. I love it. Of course you loved it.
I'm a huge fan of M. Night. I like The Happening and so he don't miss for me. I think that was the last movie I saw, Mike, was The Happening. I didn't have a problem with The Happening because for me personally, for nature to come back and start whooping everybody's ass like that, we would be no good at all.
Oh, for sure. Another
So I
one
got
I
a little
didn't.
scared out of it. You
Another
didn't
one I
like?
didn't like. No, I did like Old. I thought Old was so good.
I have not seen that one yet.
Oh,
And
it's
I have not
interesting.
seen The Cabin in the Woods. The Cabin in the, is it The Cabin in the Woods? No.
Cabin, like the Cabin in the Woods.
No, the one that's called The Cabin at the End of the World, I believe. It's based off the Paul Tremblay book.
The Visit. Could that be? Wait, is that where their kids go visit their
Yeah.
grandparents? It's not their. Okay, me and mom watched that maybe a month ago. It was good.
Thanks, Mike. It's not Get the Cabin in the Woods
Oh no, I didn't.
because
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it personally because I wanted to read the book first because a lot of people don't know that Paul Tremblay wrote that book. And I was a little pissed off at M. Night and the PR team for the movie because I'm like, Paul Tremblay is a very highly respected horror writer, and y'all need to get
Yeah.
him his damn. I think that was his first adaptation, so I was like, y'all need to get him man his damn his shine. Paul Tremblay been whipping everybody's ass too in his damn books too. He has a good book out. Christy, if you listen, Christy, you need to go read Survivor Song by Paul Tremblay.
I
So
just thought. I just thought
go ahead.
Knock on the Cabin was going to be a snooze fest. So I didn't hear anything like too great about it. So I just didn't decide to visit it. Maybe
Well,
Knock
it's
on the Cabin.
for those who are not aware, it's about a gay couple who are in they're taking a vacation with their daughter, and all of a sudden they get a knock at the door with these four strangers who said that they have to do something or the end of the world is happening and they have to do something to prevent it from happening, and you have to sit there and make sure to I don't know. That's just I've been very purposeful on trying to not know any spoilers. So yeah. But you said we just got to talk about Pretty Little Liars. It's something else we gotta scream about before we
I
get into
okay,
anything.
okay. We can quickly because it's you and me. I'm saying quickly scream about that. Since the last time that we've talked about this subject, things have changed. So Nev Campbell has signed on as as the lead of Scream 7, and it is rumored slash highly suggested slash this is confirmed that Courtney Cox have also signed on to be co-lead with Nev Campbell, and Patrick Dempsey also has signed on for Mark Kincaid. So we're going to have a legacy film for Scream 7. Yeah.
See, all thing I got to say about that is, as much as I love all three of them, somebody better die. Somebody, I
Oh,
want to be the
I
theater
know.
crying,
I know.
but it's just like this the seventh film. I mean, we get it. We got a couple of people dropped in the last couple of movies that were legacy characters and stuff like that, though. But
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know,
Judy, Dewey,
Gail
Dumbula.
almost.
Dumbula. But yeah, maybe I admit to Mark that I think this time something has to happen. And I will go ahead and honestly say that I don't think that Sydney should lose her husband. And I just, but that's all I have to say.
I caught this shade, but anyway, I got all of it. Okay, but go ahead though. Go ahead. I'll let
Um
you have it. I'll let you
yeah,
have it.
and so at this point, I don't know if I could play favorites in the franchise. So I don't know who I think should live and die. Of course, you know where I stand. However, I do know what's best for us to continue to move forward with the with the franchise.
Oh,
I'm screaming about that. Unfortunately, we won't get to see the core four anymore any longer. We won't be able to see them, unfortunately. So no more Mason Gooding. And
I know a lot of people upset about that.
they're definitely upset about that. And yeah, I'm also screaming about last thing, the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot that's coming. We don't know many details. The writer has just been speaking about
Mhm.
process, and the writer is a huge horror fan and a huge fan of this franchise, and she is excited. I watched one of her interviews, and she's super excited about this. All we know is it's going to be sort of current, so expect technology to play a huge factor in what's going to be going on in the story. So I can see how that can pay off with revenge and text messages now, or TikToks of "I know what you did last summer." So that could be fun.
They'll be fucked up if the serial killers out here TikTok his damn kills. That'll be kind of interesting.
I just want to address this. Julie James is gonna make y'all a believer. You know what? In an interview, she said that expect her to still be ass kicking, and I was like, when did she ever? Anyway, but
Exactly.
you said expect her to be ass kicking. So surprise, surprise. Maybe she will be. And
Okay.
Mike, I just want you to know that I would never, ever. We have to get to know each other more. I see that. I would never throw Gail under the radar.
No, Mike, that was all Sydney shade. That was all Sydney Prescott shade.
Thank
like,
you.
Look, everybody could sit there like I don't, and then he can sit there and say, "Well, I don't want to see Sydney lose her husband," which means that he don't want Kincaid or Gail to die. So he wants Sydney. He's like, "Farewell, Sydney." So I caught it.
You know what? If y'all kill Kirby, I will be fine. But nobody wants to do that.
That's if they invite her back. Like,
She's not invited. She's not invited.
that's if she
For her, what
invited.
to do? What? But you? No. That's not what this is about.
If she does end up in a movie, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave it alone. If she does end up in the movie, if she does end up in that movie, she might be the opening kill. Because what else she has to do? What else she has to do with Gail and Sydney? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but in Scream 6, she said her job is to hunt down Ghostface killers. So how can you have more killings if she's not there? And why wouldn't she be there? She retired already? Anyway, that's all that we're screaming about right now. More to come. So again, make sure you wait till Pretty Little Liars comes out May 9th, May 8th. We have an episode. Tune in. And we have a few more people that have popped into the feed. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Make sure you turn on those notifications, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And we're going to go to a quick commercial. Shout out to our viewers from X or Twitter. Thank you so much for tuning in, and Instagram and everywhere else. We appreciate the love. And we're going to go to a commercial. And when we come back, we're going to dive into Abigail. See ya. And we're back. Okay, so that is Killer Card Game. So that's a really cool card game. So if I could reach my copy of it, I would. But if you've seen some of the other shows, I have, I have. So I have the actual deck here. But it's a cool murder mystery like Clue, but more modernized. That has a real strong focus into slasher. So you'll love it. Check it out. You can find it on Killer Cards on Instagram. Nuh-uh, because I got premium ain't no ads. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Derek, thank you so much for coming and hang out with us. All right, so Abigail was released this previous weekend, and it is categorized as a horror thriller, and we are dealing with radio silence, and they are known for Ready or Not, Scream 5, and Scream 6. And they have, based off this movie, have a really good ability to create strong female leads. Abigail centers around a misfit of individuals. So, like the Suicide Squad, whose job is to kidnap this girl for a ransom, but they are confused because this girl is not who she says that she is. It's amazing. It's riveting. We're not going to go too deep into what we think about it just yet, but we're going to go into a quick segment called What X Says. So we took some screenshots of what people are saying on Twitter about the movie. And so sorry, this was just random tweets that people said. So if you don't see your name, I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're not gonna go right into that just yet. However, Mark, did you go on the Thursday night showing or did you go on the Friday night showing?
You know I had to go on a Thursday night showing because I do not play with folks. They didn't. You look. I should have added in what I'm screaming about is X-Men '97 because I swear to God, you cannot miss an episode of anything on TV or movies nowadays because folks will get on Facebook, Twitter, or X, excuse me, Instagram, the smoke clouds, and just sit there and spoil every damn thing. So I had to go Thursday night. I went to the 9:45 showing, and their theater was empty. It was probably I could probably count on one hand how many people were in there. Yikes. And that is not because of the content of the movie. It was more because it was a late night showing on a weeknight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of people probably went to the 7 o'clock showing, and the entire theater itself was dead. So, but I got a decent seat, and I was there. You know, nachos and cheese right there with my big ass Coke cup of Dr. Pibb, and I was in it. You know, so.
Okay. I went on Friday. Me and Mom went to go see it. We both love horror movies for those who are watching. We went to go see Abigail. So we had dinner at the movie theaters. And of course, I had to have a cocktail. So, but I was ready to see it Thursday, but the week just wasn't ready for it. But our theater, it was probably like 20 people. 20 people at the theater. And yeah, so my theater experience was great. And I was not expecting how I felt by the end of this. Wait, Mike said I'm a Thursday night type of dude, and I saw some black and brown people in my showing. Hallelujah.
Go to that next one.
Mark, if you want to get some snacks in, have I taught you nothing?
Look, I wanted to bring snacks in. I really did. The problem was, you know, because last time I brought some snacks in, I had bought a whole 20-piece nugget in the motherfucker, and I was munching. But it was late, and I'd already left work early, and I did not want to miss it trying to go through. Because you know how you sit. Because I can't just get like candy. I have to have food.
You know, I will tell her y'all said hey.
Yeah. Now, see, I don't have one of my best friend's wife. We went to go see Black Panther. She had this big ass purse. She bought out the wine, y'all. She bought out the cups and the wine. I was like, there you go, girl.
Like Brenda from Scary Movie got full plates passing around and hot sauce.
But no, I really look, when the movie came on, I was already enthralled in it. You know, I like this little title. It was so, you know, innocent looking, the titles, the you know, the font and everything. So I enjoyed it. So you went on a Friday night and you had dinner beforehand. That's hot.
No, we had dinner during the movie.
Oh, y'all went to one of those theaters, but y'all got AMC's, don't you?
We do have AMC's, but that's not. We went to Cine Bistro.
Okay, because you know they have something similar like that here in Memphis, though, but it's in like downtown, which is not a problem. It's a long ass way.
Not the Malco. What is it called?
It's a Malco. It's a Malco.
Okay, I thought so. I've been to that one.
But it downtown near the train station.
Oh, this is it new? Because I went in undergrad.
Oh, this is new. This is called Malcro. It's called Malco something, but they serve wine. They have a whole restaurant in there. It's very bougie. and I went to
Ooh.
go see the Toni Morrison documentary there. Oh, it was Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. But I went to the one with the got the damn IMAX screen because I like to give the folks my money. But
Um, yeah, it was a great experience. It just made leaving the movie. I just had this light, happy feeling from watching this movie. But
right,
yeah, a moment of silence for Angus Cloud. I think
Shine.
his last performance.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about his character though later.
Mm.
Alicia Ware from Matilda the musical. I was a fan of the musical, and to see her sort of play two different characters, actually three, basically. She was just amazing. And of course, Melissa Barrera from Scream 5, Scream 6. Yeah, let's get into one of these tweets because one of them mentioned her, and I think I agree with what they're saying. You will too. All right, let's see. Just saw Abigail. Oh my God. And this is from Lawrence Jarrett. So shout out. Just saw Abigail. Oh my God, it was so much fucking fun. Awesome cast. Radio Silence did an amazing job as always. While the ending might be a bit rushed, it doesn't ruin the movie. It made me want more. Can't wait to see it again. Abigail was fucking awesome.
Yes, God.
Hashtag Abigail, hashtag Melissa Barrera. Her fans are rallying up and supporting this movie, and I think that's so beautiful for her.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's very beautiful. I really loved, like I told you before we got on camera, I love to see Melissa Barrera just drenched in blood.
In what?
In blood.
Uh-huh. So for those who just showed in or been here and we haven't said in a while, we have a drinking game. So when you hear the word blood, take a sip with us. Ooh. Radio Silence definitely has a style. And I love when I can pinpoint that style across their projects. And it's not in a bad way. It's in a great way. Derek, absolutely. That was one of my things about Melissa too. She was snatched. She looked so good in that top. It wasn't her tank top from Scream, and that was intentional, but it was still form fitting. And she looked great. Her hair chop was good. She was giving Sidney Prescott in Scream 3.
She was. She was.
That's I didn't want to say that, but yeah. She was good. Next tweet. Just saw Abigail. Oh, this is Vincenzo, the last tree bender. And he says, just saw Abigail in Cinemark. Quick review for you. It stinks. Okay, everyone's entitled to their unpopular opinion. That's okay. We appreciate and celebrate that too.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm trying to think of some. There are, if I have to be extremely critical, right, to be unbiased. There are some moments, maybe in performance-wise, from Melissa that could have needed maybe a little tweak, just a little. But to say that the whole movie stinks, I wouldn't go that far. It was pretty lit to me the entire time.
Yeah, but why are we focusing on Melissa? It's like
I had to find something. That's the only thing I could think of.
Oh no, for me the movie. Well, we can go through some more of these tweets if you want to.
Yeah, let's go to the next tweet. Abigail, Fallout, and Civil War were all pretty meh to me. I guess I won't be joining in on any reindeer games.
Is it just me or just folks just don't know how to spell Abigail? That's right there in the damn,
You don't let people spell this girl's name how they choose. Okay,
I'm just saying. It's just like
say Abby, y'all.
Nah, because Abby's all.
Oh, those are the sharks. What are they?
No, Abby, the black horror film about the lady who's possessed by the devil.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that. Okay, I'll watch it.
You too.
Oh, even better. Next tweet. Oh, damn, I really dug hashtag Abigail, a very gory and surprisingly funny horror that is by far the best vampire movie since 30 Days of Night. The cast is great, but the standouts are Alicia Ware, Dan Stevens, and Melissa Barrera, who submits her name in Scream Queen status. Kevin Durant is also great as the comedic relief. While I love Scream 5 and 6, I'm glad Radio Silence is back with an original horror film. This is what they excel at. Can't wait to see what they do next. I echo actually all of this. I think that Melissa's application to be a Scream Queen can definitely be approved. She's done 2 movies. This makes the third, and I'm not going to hold you. She held her own. This is her fourth.
But she has one. She has another one coming out where I think she plays like I don't know,
a vampire hunter.
Huh?
Is she a vampire hunter?
No, I think she's like either I think it's based off the Bride of Frankenstein. I could be wrong, but I know it's something dealing with it's I forget what it is though, but it's in the what you call it, it's in the circuit. It's going on the circuit right now.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was really impressed with her. And I was going in to see how she was gonna do being 2 different characters in the same genres as a lead. And I think she did pretty good differentiating between the 2 characters. What do you think?
Yeah, I did too. I like I said, she carried the movie, and you kind of could see, like, it's just you could tell, but some of the stuff that she was emoting, you could tell like she was kind of hesitant to do all this stuff, but she had it's like I got to do what I got to do to survive and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that's what you kind of got there from from the first time you saw her. And then when they had the scene where they were talking, where she was kind of like read everybody for filth, not read them for filth, but she kind of like read everybody,
Well, she definitely read them. Yeah.
And then Dan Stevens' character kind of like was like, but you're a junkie. I was like, bitch, I didn't get that. And then you kind of realize you're like, oh, okay, but she doesn't give junkie. She seemed, even in that moment, even though she was kind of like vulnerable, you kind of still see her kind of like still take control of who she was. She didn't like let that break her in the midst of the shit that was going on around them. She still was headstrong, and she still was the most person. She was the motherfucking entire group that had the most common sense.
Yeah, absolutely. AJ and Radio Silence. AJ said Radio Silence should make a film from the Universal monsters like Swamp Thing or Frankenstein too. Anything that involves a lot of blood, they're gonna excel at. And that was blood. So if you're drinking with us, which you all should be, have a sip.
And the thing about the movie that I know when they announced it, they didn't give it a name. They just said an untitled monster movie by Radio Silence for Universal. Some people went as far as thinking that they were going to helm the next Cloverfield movie, but Cloverfield is actually Paramount. It's not Universal. So that was so when they actually showed the trailer and you kind of realize, okay, they're doing a new take on the Dracula story, and then have this. Oh, spoiler! We're in spoiler territory right now, right?
For sure.
Okay, so we did. So when they went ahead and explained, because they kept saying like this is Dracula's daughter, and I was like, they never actually came out and said that. You know what I'm saying? Like it hasn't been said in the trailers and anything like that. And I thought that a lot of people were speculating that it was Dracula's daughter. But that's something we can touch on when we get further into the movie. But I know that they're also Universal is trying to do something where it's like they're trying to play with those Universal monsters, but not directly. Because I know the next movie is coming out. I don't know if it's this year or early next year. The Bride.
Oh, that is Frankenstein. Yeah.
Right. So and then I think they're also. I don't know if Nosferatu is considered a
Are they doing
Universal
Nosferatu?
monster. There's a remake of Nosferatu coming out this year, and Bill Skarsgård's picture has been leaked.
Yeah,
as him as Nosferatu. So, yeah.
Was that the last one? I think we have one more tweet. All right, just watch Abigail. A fun, bloody. We'll stop there. A fun, bloody, and with action horror film. Geeked out to a near dark reference in the movie. Alicia Ware, innocent but sinister vampire with her creepy mannerisms, kept me at the edge of my seat. Horrorgasm at Universal Picks. Moody and dark cinematography, loved. I agree, and I was when I left the movie, I had my fingers crossed about something in the back of my head. And then when I started doing my normal thing and researching and then interviews come out, it was confirmed. So Radio Silence was interviewed and they asked them, is there any connection between Abigail and Ready or Not? And they said, in this home, the father from Ready or Not, his great-great-grandfather's picture is in that house at the end. So the universe is opportunity for Melissa and Samara to come together once more.
Listen, I'm here for that because I wish I had got a chance to get a photo of Samara Weaving during her bloody wedding gown, right beside bloody. Right beside a bloody. So 2 sips of Melissa Barrera because it gave the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
And even the kills. When the vampires exploded, it reminded me all about
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not, when they was all the family members at the end of Ready or Not exploded. It was just like,
so that's what I meant from having they have their own style.
Right. Because can you imagine killing a vampire in this universe and then just like, it's not like Buffy where shit is just dust. You just brush yourself up and keep moving. You can be drenched in blood. It's gonna be
love that. Imagine Buffy was like that though. That would be
they could have should have said it there. But the thing is, they couldn't even hide that. Can you Sunnydale have be drenched in so much blood
all the time?
Like, all the time.
Buffy, actually just wear bathing suits because at this point, it's no need for you to wear clothes to go play in.
That graveyard would be just drenched in blood.
Drenched. Fucking night. Paint the red, paint the grass red, paint everything red.
That caretaker probably just sit there and look, I fucking quit.
Welcome, King Mike.
Greetings.
Great time. We're just getting into some tweets about what they are saying about Abigail. I know.
I saw some of the garbage ones that was up here a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so we're gonna ride for Abigail, and for sure. I mentioned, and you know, and Mark knows, and people who watch my feed knows that how I feel about Melissa Barrera from her performance in Scream 5.
Hater.
And it improved in Scream 6, but I am really proud of her. She is really working to cement her name separate from a single franchise. She is working on being a Scream queen like her bestie, Jenna Ortega, and I love that for her. She's very Sarah Connor, Alien,
Ellen Ripley.
I can see her doing a remake of Aliens. I can see her doing more action horror, even Jurassic Park.
I can see that.
She will be fine. I think she still has to work on those, the phone call to her son at the end. I was almost there. It was just something that I was not completely in the zone for.
Gail's phone calls don't even give that. So you are really trying right now. Are you
kidding me right now? Are you
really trying? Are you really? She's exhausted. She has been awake how long? Being chased by vampires. How crazy do you want this phone call to be?
Okay, she's had several phone calls on Friends and on Cougar Town and on other shows she's been on, unlike Alice, who hasn't had a phone call on anything.
We're not talking about Alice tonight, sir. We're not talking about Alice.
How dare you? As soon as you walk in, you murderer. As soon as you walk in, you attack me. Mark, look up, Mark. Don't let this happen.
I'm listening to. I'm just trying.
Her performance was great. I loved it. I love seeing her covered in blood. I didn't say the other word. And for me, even though Scream 6, I feel like shut a lot of people up, her performance in that, to me, this solidifies her as like a horror ingenue. I don't even know if I used that word correctly. But I would love to see her more stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what really sold it to me? When she got stabbed on that thing and he pulled her off of it at the end. I don't want to go all the way into that part, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
her reaction in that moment, I was like, yes, give me more of that. So, and that looked awfully painful.
Yeah,
And she took a
she's
beating in this
amazing.
movie.
She did. I was like, as many times she got slung up against a wall through some glass. It was kind of a flashback to Brandy and I Still Know, because I was like, girl, you went through so much glass. Just play dead. Just lay there. You know what I'm saying? But
No,
with
man.
but with Melissa, or AKA Joey, I was like, girl, like, you can't play dead in the situation because they would be on you like right on right. You gotta constantly get up because they was waiting for you to be, like. So my favorite moment in the movie was when, she was all about her word. You know what I'm saying? She was all about her word. She would not just lead you astray. Because when I forgot his name, but Kevin Durant's character, when he's about to open up that damn cage, and she said, "If you open up that cage, I'm going to shoot you." And he was like, "You ain't gonna." And she shot his ass, but she knew exactly where to shoot him at, so he wouldn't lose a lot of blood. And that was the thing about it that I loved about her character. She shot his ass. She said, "Okay, now take your ass upstairs so I can patch you up, because clearly you don't know. Clearly you're testing me right now."
And I'm not one to be played with. I'm really just trying to be. And she's not rude. She's not nasty. She's very firm, and I love that about her. And when she shot her, I was like, absolutely. Now go upstairs.
Go upstairs like a child. Like you go upstairs and think about yourself. Think about your actions.
From Instagram, Black Horror Survivor. At first, I was a bit skeptical about seeing Abigail, but y'all have convinced me to see it. I'm going to try to see it during the day. Yes, and when you do, DM us so we can talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will say from the trailer, I was like, I mean, this might be all right. Let me go watch it. I was really pleasantly surprised when I was in the theater. Like, I was really impressed with what they did.
When that trailer hit, I was like, okay, if I don't see any movie preview night this year, is going to be Abigail. That's going to be the first. Abigail was the first time I went to the theaters this year that I had opportunity, and I told myself, I'm not going to miss this. I'm going to leave work early. I'm going to go see this. Because like we said, if you're fans of Ready or Not and you're fans of Radio Silence, you knew that you could be in good hands. And I also wanted to go and give Melissa and Catherine and Kevin and all of them, I want to give them all my coin, because we didn't speak about Catherine Newton's character, who I
her
fucking
resume
love.
in horror is everything. So it's just
a screen. It seemed like I don't know about Angus or the or Will, the black guy who was in the movie, or Dan Stevens. I don't know. I can't remember what Dan Stevens has been in horror related.
Who's Dan
but
Stevens?
He was the main. We went the main villain though, but he was like
the guy that was in what's his name? Hold on, let me see. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was in The Strain, so it was nice to see him playing another vampire.
Kevin Durant is a horror staple in some instances, so I love him. Mike Unofficial says, I love that Radio Silence has solidified a style that is so recognizable at this point. I can always tell if it's a RS fan without being told at this point. And I agree. And that's why I said you kind of know what you're getting yourself into when you go to one of their movies. You're going for a fun ride. And that's including with, the Scream and Scream 6. Even though we're Scream fans, it was just the fact that they took the formula and added their own taste to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people, let's just say in the Nouveau Scream universe, because, the first 3 or 4, that's all Wes's. But between the first, between Scream 5 and Scream 6, I prefer the Scream 6 opening better, because that was not done before. It's like they kept elevating that formula. You have
they took a risk.
Remake of. They took a risk with the Scream 5 opening by not killing the opening, which is supposed to be the opening kill. There's that. Then with Scream 6, you get not only a Ghostface killer knocking off the opening kill, but the Ghostface killer himself getting killed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they kind of elevated, they made it fresh. And so it's a sad, I'm not gonna get to that. But no, it's just getting into the movie, you get when the houses, when they But you get into the meat of the movie, we get into the meat of Abigail, and then when bodies start dropping, it's just like, okay, the shit's gonna hit the fan. Let's see what they got for us right now. So
I was worried because I was like, okay, there's not as many characters I thought there would be, like, that are not the leaders of the group. And then 2 people died off the bat. I was like, where's this damn vampire? Like, what's going on here? But they made up for it right after that. And it was just like on 10 after that moment.
Yes.
I thought it was smart to keep the cast tight and contained.
Right.
Inexpensive. And besides money on blood. But you know what? I love great character development. And by the time we got out that van, it was done. They laid so much great foundation about the characters in the very beginning of this film, before even the first 10 minutes, that I was like, okay, I actually like all these characters. That bus or van ride to the location told you everything you need to know, basically. And the exposition was a part of the plot, so it was fine. But it was such a smart way of introducing these characters. You got to pick who you wanted to root for, and it actually didn't matter because only one of them mattered. Because I was rooting for, I want to get his name right. I was rooting for William Catlett.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, him.
Rickles.
Yes.
The black guy. I was rooting for the black guy.
Oh, he's from Black Lightning. I couldn't place his face when I was like, I know I've seen him somewhere.
He resurrects. That's right. That guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't finish Black Lightning. Okay.
He's like a sub-villain of season 1.
The characters reminded me, while watching it, it was reminding me of House on Haunted Hill, the one from the 90s. Like the way the characters were set up. You got the ones you like, the ones who are little assholes, the ones who are assholes and you still like them. It was great.
Yeah, it definitely put them right in front of us really quickly. And I appreciate that. So you know who these people were from the very beginning. And then they added, the writing was so smart because it gave you more character development by having I don't remember her name, but Melissa do the guessing game and being like a profiler of all these people. So it gave you exposition to the character, more depth about them, and also it gave you that about her too, because her skills were put right in the front. It's almost like how video games, like you pick, I want a female, I want her to be
listen.
They basically handed us the characters just like that, and not in a cheesy, annoying way.
It reminded me of when we used to go do those raids in those what were they called, Tamon?
Raves.
Raids.
Oh,
in video games.
Yeah, you know, you go do those raids with those teams, and you had your healer, you had your
exactly your tank,
your tank and everything. Because I was like, she's clearly the medic on this, because she's the one who knows, and she's also, by her being the medic, it also gave her like this motherly feel that before you even knew that she was a mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Smart.
Because she was like, I didn't know he was gonna take a kid, and then Dan Stevens' character, like, Gary taking a fucking kid, get over it. And then so she went with him, but then he's about to punch when she stabbed him, when Abigail stabbed dude in the hand, and she was about to punch her ass out, she grabbed him. And I was like, wow.
I want to say that Dan Stevens probably was my favorite character, even to the end. And I was sort of rooting for him to, like, come on.
That makes so much sense.
Don't reading the script and reading his dialogue. I was like, this is some good dialogue.
I will say, I mean, we haven't gotten there yet, but I loved what they did with his character towards the end. I was like, this makes perfect sense. This was the best way to go with it. Yeah, I loved it.
In Love with Horror says, how do y'all feel about the elevator scene when we find out why everyone is there? Again, go ahead.
Oh, Michael.
I would say I wasn't really a fan of the motive, really. But to me, that's really the only thing that I felt. But granted, I don't really know what other motive they could have come up with, like why they would bring them there.
Nothing.
I thought it was on brand.
I sort of like the idea that it's a simplified motive. That it's like, I like to play with my food.
Not only that, but it's on brand, y'all. Come on now. Okay, so the tagline for the movie is "Children can be such monsters." Abigail is the quintessential child who wants attention from their parents, and she's doing everything in her power to get her dad's attention. And I was like, okay, it makes sense for her to be doing all this because they had the story about
Valdez.
Valdez and the tearing up these officers and stuff like that in this hotel room, and there were like so many stories up, and there was nobody got in the room. So how did that happen? And you were like, nobody's gonna pay attention, and she's very small, so nobody's gonna sit there and just be like, oh, there's this big guy crawling up the wall or something like that and getting in to tear up these people. But I felt it, and it I don't know, I like the motive because it made so much sense for me as to like, all y'all being played. You know what I'm saying? All of y'all are just food for me right now. The one thing that I didn't get was like the situation with Giancarlo Esposito's character in terms of like, okay, so you didn't know what you was getting yourself into when you was dealing with the vampire, because it threw me off when they sat there and they said Lussard, no, Lussard. And it didn't dawn up. I said, who's Lussard? And I didn't realize Lussard backwards is Dracula or Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
didn't pick up on that.
Because if you watch Castlevania, I think that one of the characters' name is Alucard, and that's Dracula backwards.
Now that was the only thing that I knew before going to see this. I knew that
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that the father was Dracula.
Oh, I mean, I knew that. I thought you were talking about the name. Okay, go. I'm sorry.
No. Well, yeah, that too. I knew the father was Dracula, and I knew that Melissa was the lead. That's like, because it's an ensemble, you don't know how to, and the cast is pretty much the same level as far as experience, so you don't know how it's going to be divvied. Because Catherine Newton could have easily been a lead too, but I love what they did with her character, and it feels like they made all the right decisions in this movie. Right? Like, of course, it's going to be her that gets bit. The naive, rich blonde girl who's also a brilliant hacker. And she's like this. She's still that girl, though. Outside of her being a hacker, she's still all those things. And so she acts like that, and I love that about her. And then for her to be turned, I really wish, though, that we would have saw more of her as the vampire versus Abigail talking through her as Abigail, even though that in itself is world building to the lore of the abilities of these type of vampires. So I give him credit too. But yeah, I thought Catherine Newton was great.
She was amazing. She was amazing, and I actually loved that transformation scene because the thing about this movie that I love the most is that they didn't go with they didn't stick to, or they just made you assume that okay, it's a vampire movie, we know what to do. No, because they tried a lot of stuff and the shit didn't work. And then when she got bit and she was like, am I gonna get turned? And then Abigail was like, maybe, because 9 times out of 10, Abigail probably didn't have to turn her, and just probably used her as a puppet. You know what I'm saying?
That's all she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that part confused me. The turning, because with Giancarlo Esposito, he bit the dude in the end and then fed him his blood and he turned. But with the blonde, she just got bit and she ended up turning. But then Melissa got bit in the end and nothing happened to her.
Right. That's the difference.
Oh, he died. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what it
was.
But
the difference is like the ritual behind the bite. Like, she just got bit, so she takes control. But now that we go through the whole exchanging of blood, you're separate. You can control yourself.
Right.
And I like the control scene.
I did too.
Oh, that was
amazing. It was so different.
Yeah, it was.
It was. And I like the fact that they gave Catherine. I just love her twirling. I love to see women twirl in these horror movies and shit like that. And so, because that's my thing. With Misty Day and Coven when she's twirling.
Angela,
yes. Angela from Night of the Demons, like twirl, bitch, twirl. She got to dance and shit. No. I said horror.
I mean,
and twirl.
So listen, when she killed Kevin Durant, right?
I was crying.
Such a good scene. I was like, they're really gonna go through with it. She's gonna be the one to do it. And then I don't know, because was that Friday, or that was Friday? Yeah. When I was watching, I was like, dang, he's probably thinking like she's really gonna kill me. And I was so nice to her. And my heart broke in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I broke too because he had a great scene with her, like,
yeah,
we get out of this, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends. But the thing of the matter is that what people kept saying to him about his character was like, you're only good for so you don't have any brains and stuff like this. But he was compassionate.
He was
a compassionate enforcer.
Yeah, he definitely had heart.
Yeah, he had heart. And yeah, he did. He got his damn. That shit kind of hurt me though, because I'm like, damn, the person you sat there and let your guard down for the way you take that takes you out. And I thought that he was gonna turn.
Who volunteers to go with the bitten person in the locked damn mansion? Who does that?
She didn't have anything, and she tried. And that scene was so good because like how they showed her full transformation. And shout out to Catherine again, how they showed her full transformation, and even the moment when she lost control. It was good. Like you really felt like she was fighting to like stay in control.
Yep. You know what it was giving me Fright Night when she was hunched over and Melissa and the other dude came and she was pretending to be human. It was giving me so much Fright Night.
Yep. And it was funny because she was like how she say it? She was sitting there and she was like, oh, she got him. Oh no. And then and Melissa was like,
Melissa was like, wait a minute, it's a trap. I was like,
come over here.
She said, run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a good moment, too.
And can we give Melissa, the character of Joey was just amazing. I just want to break down her right quick because she was truly a mother figure throughout the entire movie. And I felt like it was the best person to lead because I guess everybody else, you couldn't do Angus Cloud's character to go in there and try to assure the girl because he was he seemed like he was high the whole entire time that he was in the house.
I couldn't. Take your ass in the room and don't even try to help. Just stay away.
You couldn't do Rickles because he was too busy. He was the standpoint, the guard and stuff like this, so he couldn't go in there and do it. Dan Stevens' character, I forget his name. I want to say his name was Dean.
Actor. Or something like that. Actor.
No. But he couldn't go in there and do it because he wants to be in control, but he has a temper. So he couldn't go in there and do it. And poor little Sammy wouldn't be able to do anything, and neither was maybe Kevin Durant.
It was only Joey.
It was only Joey. It made sense.
It would make sense. I couldn't see Catherine leading that group just because she's the youngest. No. Now, if this were like a bunch of teenagers, I could then see that, even though she's not a teenager in real life. But
I just like the fact that she knew what to do. And then one thing that I don't think a lot of people paid attention to was she really kept her promise to a degree when she told her, "I'm not going to hurt you." To a degree.
You and these children, Mark.
No, listen to me. No, listen to me, because I'm just like any other situation. That's the reason why it's good to have somebody like Joey in your group, because my black ass been like, yo, if we all get together, we can hold two of us can hold her down and somebody can stake her. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like in Joey's mind, it was like she kind of, every time they tried to go and stake her, do something to her, even when they sat there and said, okay, we're going to go take this bitch out. And she was like, y'all go right ahead.
Yeah, that was funny.
Y'all go right ahead.
And you know what Abigail did? Abigail mollywopped them all in that room and felt nothing about it.
And sent the back to her, all of it limping.
I love it, those moments when like I actually could have killed y'all, but I'm just gonna keep playing.
She's so shady. I love that character.
Of course,
loved Abigail.
And speaking of shady, the reason why I have this picture behind me today, because in my alternate universe, this is Claudia all grown up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Claudia wouldn't have got murdered or burned to death in the movie, this is how she would have been in President.
Yeah.
And that was Lestat came in towards
Lestat. Yes.
Yeah. That was show Lestat coming like, damn, I can't leave your ass alone for 5 fucking minutes. Now I got to clean up this damn mess.
Louis was John Esposito. Okay.
That was a shock to me though, because I didn't think that he was actually a vampire. I just thought that he was one of those familiars, that sit there and just like, okay, I'm getting paid to feed this person. So when he turned around in full vamp mode, I'm like, oh fuck.
He reminded me of Drusilla when his eyes were so big. I was like, oh god.
Oh, I love me some Drusilla. I love you, Juliet Landau. I love you.
So I've heard nothing but great things about the movie, but some people are saying I had to Google some reviews, and I went to 1 stars, and the 1 stars, they said that it was slow and boring in the middle. I'm trying to be objective, right, and say what I thought could have been improved as it relates to pacing, but I don't see a moment in the film where it was like
middle?
I guess the middle's the second act when they realized it was a vampire.
That was boring.
I
take these things with a grain of salt, because whenever somebody says stuff like that, I need a comparison to what you do like and don't think is boring.
Right.
So I can't really go just based off of that, because if they're like, "Oh, I love Hereditary, but that wasn't boring or slow at all," I'm like, "Bitch, please."
Right.
Exactly. It's like dating advice from somebody that has no taste at all. Like, oh, they fine. You would say that because you think everything. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful who you get your horror reviews feedbacks from. That's why we're here.
That's why I tell everybody, go watch for yourself and make your own decision. Don't go by what other people say.
Amen. Because I always tell people, you miss out on shit when you let somebody else tell you about a movie, because they probably went to the movie not wanting to go. They probably went with a friend to kill some time, and they were like, "Ah, man, that movie was all right," you know what I'm saying? But they didn't sit there and pay attention to it. They come into it with a lot of animosity.
I could think that maybe they thought it took too long for the vampire to show up in the movie. Maybe I could somewhat see that, because even I in the theater was like, when is she going to turn? Y'all keep talking about, because there's a point where, okay, they're there, and then we have this long part where they realize they're trapped. And then we have all of that commotion going on. And I'm like, oh, we're still waiting for the vampire shit to happen.
Okay, there was a moment before Angus died, I was like, okay, when is it going to start? Just for like a hair sec, but that could be just editing that needs to be done. There's a few comments that we need to sort of circle back to. Let's see.
Bobby.
I thought I saw Bobby. The elevator scene was one of my faves. The way she read everyone, she did. She laid this stuff out to bear. I want to hear the people that was dead information too. She didn't spill their tea.
She did. I guess she said they don't need their tea spilled. They're spilled all across this damn house. So how about that? Ed Coven of Screams LLC from Instagram says, "You all making me want to see it tonight." Laugh my ass off.
Go see it. They'll be fun. Watch. As soon as I got out, I called one of my friends. I was like, "Take your nephews to go see this movie. It's fun. Melissa's hot. They'll love it." And I told my sister to take my nephews too. So like, I think anybody, even if you're not a true horror fan or like you love the blood, take a sip, please. You would really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I think it's a fun, it's a fun ride. If you like stuff like The Lost Boys, Ready or Not.
I don't know about it's like the Lost Boys now, but
no, I'm just saying like a fun ride in terms of like, because Lost Boys, it was just straight roller coaster. But I'm saying like, in terms of maybe The Babysitter, even though that's not a radio.
I could somewhat see that. I could see that.
For sure. Freaky. It's bloody, it's freaky, shit like that. You into stuff like that. Just you want to have a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, it's like it's horror that people who don't necessarily, like you said, like or watch horror, they can tolerate or enjoy.
It felt like the best version of a horror comedy that I appreciated. It had a great balance, maybe even 70-30. And it could even be 60-40, but it was so well placed and the dialogue was so great that none of that even bothered me. Because normally horror comedies get under my skin a little bit.
A lot of people say that they're like horror comedies and whatnot, and I understand their plight, but I feel like even in some of the most serious horror movies, there's a little bit of comedy in it. Like one of my favorite moments from A Nightmare on Elm Street is when
Alice saves the
Detective
souls of the
Thompson comes
children.
in.
Not at all.
I said A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Not at all, honey.
When Detective Thomas comes into Glenn's house, and the guy tells him, like, he asks him, like, what does the courier say? Or what does the courier say? Or the coroner says, he say, oh, he's been John puking ever since he saw it. And you can hear the guy in there puking. That was a little bit of a comment, like it wasn't ha 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 ha, but it was kind of like, like it was a little comedy to me. I guess I laughed at that.
I think the comedy in this is just the realistic, because if we were trapped in this damn place, in our minds, we're like, okay, this is what you got to do to kill a vampire. We would all be scared as fuck. But we're trying all this shit and it's not working. Like, what do you do at that point? It's like, what do you do?
You freak the fuck out. It kind of reminds me, okay, right behind you, Return of the Living Dead. When they sat there and put that damn axe in that damn dude's head and he didn't die.
The worst.
What the fuck are we gonna do now? I was like, and I felt like that's what they were doing when they were in, like, when they found out that some of the shit they tried was not working, and she was out there still whooping their asses and stuff like that. One of the funniest moments in the movie was when Captain Newton came out with them damn onions, and dude, like, those are fucking onions.
See, that's why I like Dan Stevens' character, because the stuff that he says are the things that I would be either thinking or saying, like, are you kidding me right now?
Are you kidding me?
And
she was like, I didn't know. I don't cook.
I don't cook. I've never seen it.
They were having that heart-to-heart moment, Melissa and Catherine in the end, and then he's like, yeah, you're just a bad mother, okay? There's no sugarcoating it.
Let's get
you weren't there.
Let's see a child. Okay.
And I'm just like, okay, look, yeah, we've been getting chased around. I don't got time for this. So we need to get it together.
His attitude was definitely warranted. Like, y'all talking about the wrong things right now. Listen, go check on your child. You suck as a mom. That's all.
Yeah.
Like,
now, I wouldn't have said that, but let's get it together.
Sorry.
I mean, he was a great foil, but you could always tell from day one that he was always in it for himself, because he was gonna leave their ass. We found out who her dad was. He was like, "Oh, fuck this shit, I'm going." And I was like, "Yo."
I mean, that is crazy for somebody to not know this.
You'll be surprised though, Mike. It was such a perfect detailing, because she's the rich white girl who don't know the difference between onions and garlic. I died. Listen, when she came out with them damn, when you see before Dan says, I'm like, this bitch does not have no damn bag of onions. I just know she don't got no damn onions.
Red
those
onions?
are fucking onions. They were red onions. He was like, those are fucking onions.
Okay, so Mike, what are your final thoughts about Abigail, and not just Abigail, but the impact that it's
made? Think that I'm hoping more people go to watch it, and I think if they do, they will enjoy it. I think she's on like the Megan level as far as being an iconic character. Just the character in herself, that actress is really good. Yes. And I never saw Matilda, so I didn't know that was her. But the way she's able to play a child, really, like Kirsten Dunst playing Claudia, like being like an unsuspecting child and then also being this like vicious killer. She did really good at that. I think all the characters are fun and entertaining. I wasn't bored, even when there wasn't like a lot happening. I was engaged enough, and the twist just kept coming. I was like, how much more does a person have to deal with? Once the Dracula character came in, I was like, oh, bitch, another person to fight before we got get out.
No, because when what's his name character came with Giancarlo Esposito's character, like, yo, I didn't call. I'm sorry, he's on his way. And during that whole entire fight scene, I thought this was going to be able to save both of them. But the fact that they defeated the dude by himself, and then she's getting ready to walk out, and you saw Abigail's eyes go, I was like, oh, shit.
Daddy's home. Okay, Mark.
You stepped in. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are your final thoughts about Abigail?
Like everybody said on the panel, I really think people to go watch this movie. I pray that we get like a connective tissue of a world being built from this one movie. Like this is the foundation, and they just add on to it. Maybe not with not just with another sequel or something like that, but just like a spin-off or something like that. With maybe incorporate Frankenstein or Wolfman or something like that.
You know what? Wolfman, but do like a Howlin' 5 kind of thing where it's like you're trying to guess who the werewolf is, but you have the same kind of comedy and shit going on. I think that would be well.
And have the final girl be the actual wolf person at the end. So now we'll have 3 final. Radio Silence, you do a really good job at creating new final girls for us that are actually like solid final girls. Samara, you wasn't here, Mike, but I said that there's a link between Ready or Not and Abigail. So there is a universe. There's a picture in Abigail on the wall of the father. I can't think of his name from Ready or Not. His great grandfather.
Oh, the one that made the deal that got everything started.
Yeah. Okay. So we know that this is and Radio Silence said this in an interview. So we know this is a connected universe. So we need one more final girl to give us a 3 final girl movie, and whoever is left standing, will be really fun. But like, I'm just so proud of them. But on one hand, I want to see more because I didn't really need a Ready or Not 2, right? I didn't need that to happen. But now that it is happening and they're expressing the connective tissue between the 2 films, now I'm leaning towards like, okay, let's build something amazing. In Radio Silence, if you're giving Melissa a new home as far as leading a new franchise, I salute that, and I think that's wonderful for her.
She is doing everything. She's shutting everybody up.
Yeah,
she's taking it. She is going to be the new Scream Queen, and everybody's going to shut up. And that's just it.
I see it happening. I can't wait for her next project.
Me too. The movie I was talking about earlier
Mike.
is You're a Monster. It comes out this year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's about Melissa Barrera, who's a young actress during a cancer diagnosis, an upsetting relationship breakup when she discovers a terrifying yet weirdly charming monster living in her closet. I don't know if this is out yet. Well, in March, Vertical Entertainment acquired the distribution rights for the film, but it did premiere at Sundance Film Festival this year.
Okay. Where did it go? I need 2 prequels, one of the daughter, one of the father. I need a sequel for a new army of vampires that challenge Lazar. Okay. I just feel like Abigail's gonna need another babysitter, and he's gonna make find Melissa Barrera.
There was a point I thought Abigail was about to leave with Melissa at the end of the movie. Because the father he seemed like a dick at first. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were going to fight him too, and then Abigail was just going to leave him, or Melissa was going to stay there, and it would be the 2.
And he was going to turn.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought was happened too. Was that he was going to end up turning her, and she was going to end up being Abigail's caretaker, or new caretaker rather.
The Latina Blade. This was a dope convo, y'all. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on the fun movie. # Team Abigail. Thank you and love with her. AJ, Christy, we love y'all so much. Thank you everyone for coming to hang out with us, having a cocktail with us, and talking some horror stuff. I'm Taman Kane, and you can find me here on Scream Kings. You can find me on Ryan C. Showers, where we do Scream breakdowns, and anywhere else that you make it. Oh, on Twitch, streaming Dead by Daylight.
And sabotaging his teammates. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. And you're the first one to go.
I sure am. Every time like a fool, I fall for it. Come save me. Come take me off the hook. And next thing I know, my ass is snatched up and you going.
That it has nothing.
I'm mad at 2024. You ain't learned that yet, Mike.
Mark.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
What? I'm just saying. What? When we played Friday 13th, if I do your ad, if I heard you scream, it was like, take money, it's no good. Let's go to the other direction.
If I'm in the car and you're not out there in the car, it's over for you.
Well, that I get.
Of course you do.
And you can find me at Marco Estes and on Instagram and Midnight Social Story on Instagram. On X, I am the Anti-Critic, and you can also find me on my podcast, Midnight Social Distortion. New episodes are coming soon, and you can always find me here on Scream Kings.
I am Mike. You can find me on X and Instagram. The handle is right there. Hocus Pocus Reference. People Under the Scares podcast. You have me and Bobby, who is not here tonight. You can find us on all podcasting platforms. That is a horror podcast every Monday. And you can find me here on Scream Kings, holding them accountable for their nonsense.
Being full of shit for the thing.
No. I have to regulate y'all sometimes because sometimes y'all be wild on here.
Okay. Congratulations on your episode that released today. Aliens.
Yes.
With Utaka. So make sure you guys check that out also. Again, May 8th, we are going live doing a season 1 review of Pretty Little Liars. And that following Sunday, we will do a season 2, episode 1 review.
Ooh.
Come here with your cups, your tissues, and all those things you're going to need because it may be a bloody, scary season.
Bye, Imogen. Bye, girl.
Scream you later.
Peace.
Oh.
This is the Patreon now, so y'all getting charged per second y'all watching this.
I still have to watch